Alright guys, welcome back to day 2, part 2 of our breeding tutorial video, brought to you by Ark Cartel and KingAwesomeGames.com. If you haven't had a chance yet, please stop by and check us out. We are back. I am assisted here with my wife, and we are going to show you the next stage of this. Alright, so behind me you will see that we have our level 245 from last night, our 54 health male. And then we took and we cloned our zeroed out females a bunch of times, right? So we are going to turn those on to breeding. And we are going to let that male breed with all the females until we get a true breeding pair. Now, if you don't understand what that is, just stick with me and we'll get you there, okay? So, like I said in the last video, a true breeding pair is a male and a female of the exact same level, the exact same stats in each category. So because we only want carbos, right? Or because we only want health, we're only looking for health. Everything else should be zeros. Stamina, weight, melee, everything else zeros except for that 54 health. Okay? So we are going to let these breed up a little bit. Also, in today's video, we're going to go over how to build your breeding platform. Now, this works specifically for us, and I'll show you what I mean. This is our personal breeding base. This out here is just a training area that we can do these videos and, you know, put on a little bit more of an instructive role so people understand. All right, now this works for us. What we do is we take and one male carbo, if you center them, will breed with 5 females on each side. So 5 on that side, 5 on that side. Then we have homeboy right here. He's got 5 of his own, 5 of his own on that side. And then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So we get 30 eggs with one round. So typically we would do away with the platform underneath the carbos like we do on the stegos, and you can see our stegos just float midair. Now that enables us to quickly run through and grab all these eggs without being hindered by their tails, without running into any obstacles. It drastically reduces the amount of time that it takes us to get a full run of eggs. So once we go through and we collect the full run after everybody has laid, then we'll just go up here to the fridge and just do a quick dump into the fridge. Now once we have all of our fridges filled up, we'll turn them off breeding, and then we'll go to our egg incubators, fill them up. One of us will have all the fertilized eggs in our inventory. We'll dump them into the incubators quickly as we go down, and then the other person is coming right behind and checking those eggs in order to see if there is a new mutation. Now, if you get a new mutation, but it's not in the desired stat that you want it, obviously that is garbage. Now, there's controversy on this. You can get a male or a female egg with the mutation. You do not have to wait for a male only egg. Alright, if you were to sit and wait for only a male with the mutation that you want, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're cutting your probability of getting that mutation down by 50% just by doing that. Now, when you correlate that with the other stats and the statistical probability that that mutation could have gone into any of those other stats that we don't want, the statistical probability goes up even higher. Okay? So with these platforms, all of our carbos, all of our stegos, they all drop in a straight line, and we can just quickly run through and get these. Now, we are going to show you how to do these floating platforms that make it so much easier. And with this also, instead of having to have a stego that you throw out of cryo and hopefully get him into the right spot, or trying to use it with a skiff to drop it in the correct location, you don't have to worry about that. This male can walk from our cloners, because we typically will get one egg, but we need two. So we have the original. Let's see if I can get rid of it. Alright. So here's our original. So once he is hatched, raised, all that good stuff, then we just take and go over and just clone him one time. And then we'll take and park both of those underneath, and they walk freely underneath here without any problem. And we put them against these walls so we know exactly where their placement should be. Okay, now we're going to show you how to do that. It's really, really easy, really simple. We've done it with our Ankies. We've done it with our Shadow Mains. Especially with the Shadow Mains, because they are a gestating dino. So trying to squeeze underneath a fully grown Shadow Main to get to the baby can be challenging at times. Okay, now the more females that you have, the higher your statistical probability of getting a mutated egg. Alright, now keep that in mind. That's going to come into play here shortly. As y'all can see, we are very OCD. It's more of a curse, but we like everything nice and pretty. And yes, you can do this on PvP. We do it. It's not hard. Okay, so by now, my lovely wife should have collected a couple of eggs, and she's been going through them. And you see, those zeros carry over into some stats, just not all of them. And none of them so far have been where we want them. But in the meantime, we're going to keep searching eggs. I'm going to pause you here and bring you back. What we are looking for is a male and a female of the exact same egg. Also, keep in mind that it is possible, because these are all females, these level 1s. It is possible to get a male level 1 from these females. It's just dependent on where their stats fall. Okay, so if you come across a level 1 male, why not keep that? It can only benefit you later. You can use these level 1s as trading currency across the other tribes. People will pay heavily for a level 1. And if you've got clones of it, you can pretty much name your price. Now, say you did that with a Giga, and you zeroed out a Giga, you can pretty much name your price on anything that you could possibly want for someone wanting a level 1 Giga. Okay, so keep that in mind. Keep an eye out for that one as well. Alright, so just like that. See, now we have that male. So now, after all this is said and done, and we find our true breeders, we'll take this level 1 male and one of the level 1 females, so it doesn't matter which, and we'll take and put them in a secure cryo fridge somewhere, kind of hidden out of the way, somewhere where we don't worry about it. We don't really look in there unless we need to go in there, and that will be our level 1 fridge. And we'll have multiple breeds, multiple dinos, all level 1s in there. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and pause, and we'll bring you back once we get our true breeders and show you what that looks like. Alright, welcome back. So we finally got it. It has taken us about an hour to get this one egg. This process, again, like I said in the last video, guys, it takes a long time to do it, but it's well worth it in the end. and then I'll show you what it looks like in the end and why it's so worth it. Okay, so we got our level 55 male egg that has 54 points into health and 0 in everything else, as you can see. Okay, so what we're going to do, in order to save time, we are going to take this egg, hatch and raise it. So, 0, 0. And then we are going to put TB after his name, or after his numbers, to show true breeder. Because in the end, he is going to be our first 0, 0. And when I say 0, 0, that means 0 mutations on the male side / 0 mutations on the female side. Okay? So that is a 0, 0 true breeder. It is name stick. Yep. Alright, so we are going to let him raise up. And we're actually taking him and switching him out with that 245 male that we had here. Once we start breeding him with these level 1s, our probability of getting another level 55 female will increase exponentially, and it'll cut down on a lot of wasted time. So once we get that done, we will be right back with you, so just hang tight. Alright guys, so we got our level 55 male raised up and started breeding him with the level 1s, and just like that, the first round we get the females. So 2 of these don't matter, or we don't need 2 of these, we just need the 1. So what we're going to do is hatch one of these, and then we're going to take and clone that level 55 as many times as we need to. So we'll probably clone it about 10 to 15 times. And then we will go ahead and build our platform over here, show you how to line everything up, and then you can basically take that and start building your platform to kind of mimic that and start your breeding process. Okay, so once we raise these up, then we're going to clone them, and then we'll be back right before we start to build our breeding platform and show you how that works. Alright, so hang tight guys, we'll be right back with you. Alright guys, we are back. So we got our cloned females all out here. Our breeder, true breeder male is over here. These are all of our cloned level 55s. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to build a platform. Again guys, this is just a helpful tip. This is what really works for us. This is what allows us to breed our super dinos. On our cluster, we have the best dinos out of anybody. Nobody's coming close to us yet. And it's because we breed so much, so often, and so quickly that it's hard for anybody else to keep up with us. Now, everybody's going to have their own processes. Everybody's going to determine what works best for them. We found this works best for us, and if it helps you, then by all means. So first, what you want to do, get you some ceilings, walls, and stairs. It doesn't matter if it's metal, wood, stone, it doesn't matter. Okay, so for carbos, I believe we're going to go too high. We're going to take ceilings out. It doesn't have to be this long, but just depending on how many you're going to put up there, okay? If you're going to have a full setup like we do with the 30 female carbos, 15 along each side, yes, you're going to need additional space, so just keep that in mind. If you're only going to do 10 to 15 at a time, you won't need as much space. but we do want to show you how it works. Alright, so because we're super OCD, we like everything in a straight line and perfectly centered and all that good jazz. I know that's contraindicative of being on PvP, but we like what we like. So what we do is, to do this, we take, get it on that snap point and that snap point. Alright, I'm going to take this down. Oh, go back. It doesn't particularly have to be on this snap point. We like to give them a little bit more room on this end. Okay? Alright. Then, once you're done there, take your stairs and just give them a way up. Okay? Alright, she's going to take that side. I am obviously too heavy. So, come here, Mr. Pig. There you go. He's going to hold on to that stuff for me since I'm so heavy. Then I'm going to begin still being too heavy. You can take all of those. There we go. Alright, Mr. Gallimimus, you are treading dangerous water over here. So we just run them down to the end and then push them as far into the wall as you possibly can, lining it up with that one. Then jump off, back on, recenter, because certain animals jump whenever you dismount. You can move positions. Alright, so with your next one, just walk straight into that one. Slowly rotate until you are straightened out. Dismount. There you go. You want them to be as close as possible in order for the male to reach as many females as possible. Alright, now that we've got them lined up, we should have 6 on each side. Alright, now we're going to go to our exomech, because we don't like to waste resources if we don't have to. Having an exomech is always the best thing. Throw. Alright, so first I'm going to pick up these stairs. We don't need them anymore. We do not want anything to ground the platform. Okay? So once you're doing that, the only thing that is holding the platform and those carbos up are these two walls. So if I take out this bottom wall, voila. Nice and pretty. See that? Now, this is fully functional. They still do everything they need to do as far as breeding, and so nice and pretty. Our male can just walk right in there, unhindered by the females above him. The females will tilt back, that's fine. And then she has centered the male between 3 females on the left and 3 females on the right. And hopefully it reaches all of them. Let's see if we can slide him back a little bit. No, now he's getting the one on the end, but not the one on the front. Slide him forward. Now he's getting neither. So, just like we thought, we can only do 5 carbos per male on each side, which is fine. We would just need to get another male. We're not going to really worry about that because you get the idea, okay? And then once they mate, you'll see how pretty this looks. Always when you have your females up on an invisible platform like this, alright, they're not supported, make sure that anything in your breeding base, make sure that it's turned to passive so it does not attack unclaimed babies, and also that it is on ignore group whistles, because everybody has that one tribe mate that'll run around through base and accidentally hit whistle follow all. That does not make for a good time. See? So easy. And then we run over, and typically we'll put them all in the refrigerators until we get, 4, 5, 6 fridges full, and then we'll take and go through and check all of our eggs at once. So we already know that all of those are level 55s. So all those are 55s. So each time you get a mutation, your level will increase by 2, and we want the mutation to go into health. So those 2 levels will turn the dino into a level 57, but will make the health 56 points. So a quick way to go through eggs is just quickly look at the levels. The level of the dino, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57. So 57, so it got a mutation, but the mutation is on melee, which is not what we want. 55, 55, 55. So none of these are any good. We'll just take these. And we just take and throw them out. You can also use these as your intermediate soakers in the meantime, and while your line is progressing, whatnot, but we don't need that because ours are already so mutated. So we'll wait for the next round of eggs.
I moved him forward, so he's getting 5 at a time now. He's only getting 4.
Okay. All in a row. She already got that side. $57, that's mutated, but stamina. 55, 55, 55. So in the same incubator, in 10 eggs, we got 2 mutations.
28 eggs, we've gotten 3.
In 28 eggs, we've gotten 3 mutations. That is what people don't understand. People on our cluster, they like to moan and complain and say, oh, there's no way that you got those. Those are too overpowered, or you cheated, or whatnot. It has nothing to do with cheating. It is all about the statistical probability. Once we took and zeroed out all of those other stats, and unless some Ark developer can come through and tell me otherwise, once you zero out all the useless stats, the ones that you don't want, the probability of you getting a mutation there goes down even lower. And because they're such a low level, they're level 55s, they are more likely to get a mutation in the random roll of the dice that Ark has coded in to tell what the dinos will get and what stats will be where. So because we took out those useless stats and we put them at 0, we have a higher probability of getting mutations more often, if that makes any sense. And that's why people don't understand, and they look at our dinos and how powerful they are, and then they question it, like, well, how are you getting mutations so fast? We get mutations so fast because we breed like this. See, there's another mutation. And another mutation. So wait.
Not even 30.
And melee. So yeah, none of these are the health mutation that we're looking for. So we are going to keep rolling with it. And once we get our first mutation in health, then we'll bring you back and show you what we do from that point. Alright guys, here we go. So it's taken about 10 to 15 rounds of them breeding, dropping eggs. And then we came across this. And I'm glad that this happened so that way we can explain to you and show you. So what we have is we've got one incubator full of eggs. Go down the line, 55, 55, but whoa, 57, right? So we take a closer look at it. It has the 56 points in health like we want it. So the health mutated. It got a new mutated color region. But it also has the mutation on the female side. We don't care about that. That doesn't matter. Okay, because ultimately all the mutations are going to switch over to the male side, which is what you want in the end. Now the problem is that this is a level 57 female that got the mutation that we want. So I'm going to take this out. Oh, no, they're all done. So what's going to happen? Get rid of all these others. To tell you the truth, I didn't even check the top. Yep. Okay, so all those are level 55s, they don't matter. Yep. So I'm keeping slot 4. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hatch this. Imprint on it. And then I'm going to name it 0/1. And then F for female. Okay? She's going to pick it up in the May wing. You know, it's going to do its thing in the May wing, raise up, whatnot. We'll keep collecting eggs and keep checking them to see if we get a male. The goal is to get a male with a mutation. However, we can use that female. And we will show you what that looks like as soon as we come back. So once that's raised, we'll be right back. Okay guys, so here we are, we're back. So what happened is we got that level 57 female, the female with the mutation, right? We did not get any more mutated male eggs like we would hope for, but what we can do, always keep your 0/0 male, your first male with no mutations. Take him and put him off in the corner somewhere, just Make sure that he doesn't starve. Make sure he's got plenty of food, plenty of love. You know, go pet him and ride him around in circles every now and then. But you take that female, the one that's mutated, and you breed it back to your 0-0 male. And what you want to occur is that you want to get an egg from her that carries the mutation over, but is also a male. And usually you can do this in 5 or less eggs. It doesn't take long at all.
Whoa. That one is a mutation.
Okay, so what has happened here is the first egg to come out of that mutated female is an additional mutation. So it got a stamina mutation, which we don't need or want, so we're going to do away with that. And wait for her to drop another egg. So once she drops a male egg and we check it in the incubator, we'll bring you back and show you what your next steps are going to be after that. Alright, we are back. It took about 4 eggs and we finally got it. So as you can see, this is a level 57 with 56 points into health, and that mutation is on the female side, which we don't care about. Now we're going to wait the 35 seconds. We will hatch and raise this one, and that will become our new breeding male. And he will go over there against the wall and start breeding with these. Until you get to 20 mutations in health, these will stay up here. These females are your breeding females. The only thing that you will ever change out is your breeding male that you put here. So let's see. And we're gonna name him 0/1 because the 0/1 female that we had is gonna end up, we'll just put her in a cryo and throw her away because she doesn't matter. So this is your new 0/1 breeder male. Alright, once he's raised up, we'll bring you back and show you the next step after that. Alright, we're back. Our 0/1 male is raised, saddled, ready to go. So we'll take him. Remember to take your 0/0 male and put him back over just out of the way. Keep him off in the corner somewhere. Because if you get another female with that mutation, you don't have to go searching for him or trying to find out where he went, anything like that. He's just off in the corner by himself hanging out. Alright, so go through here, behavior, disable ally looking, ignore group whistles, enable mating, and then copy to all nearby. Oh, wait, one more. Behavior, passive, and then copy. And he is rocking and rolling. Alright, we'll bring you back here shortly once we get our next mutated egg. Alright guys, welcome back. So, we had some issues with our last recording. Turns out we had to edit a little bit, but we brought you back relatively in the same spot that we were at, okay? So we started out, the last male you saw down here was, I think, 0/1 or 0/2. We kept going with him. Now we're at 0/4. So as you can see, if I go into his inventory, show his ancestors, that he has 3 mutations on the male side and 1 mutation on the female side. Now once he breeds with these females up above him, that fourth mutation will switch over to the male side, so you don't have to worry about that. So what is going to happen is we are going to keep going like that and keep going with it, keep going with it. Keep naming your turtles like you see here. So once you get your 5th health mutation, you're going to label that one 0/5. That helps you keep track of them. And that also, because every time you get a new male, you want to take the old male, put it in cryo, and just put it in a cryo fridge out of the way. Okay? So as you see here, we've got 01, 02, 03, and then our 00 male is over here that we can breed a mutated female with. Because like we've said before, if you get the mutation that you want, but it's a female, don't worry about that. Keep your 00 male out, just off in the corner like we mentioned before. Breed your mutated female with your 00, get a male egg, and then just throw him back into the breeding line. Back into the breeding mix, okay? Now, like I said, once you get done with your old male, cryo it, put it in a cryo fridge. That makes it to where somewhere along the line, if you mess up, you are able to go back. Or if you have your breeders in a secure area, because you always want to keep one of your 00 females, just a copy of it, a clone, whatever, and you want to keep your breeding line going. So that way, if your base gets raided, say you get wiped, well, it's hard to wipe your complete line if you have it hidden somewhere out of the way. Like us personally, on our cluster, we have a copy of every breeding line we have. And then every so often, every couple of days or whatnot, we'll switch out the males with the updated males, if that makes sense. So that way, if we get raided and if we get wiped, we're not starting from scratch. We still have our own breeding line. So, that being said, we're going to keep rolling with this. We're going to take this all the way up till it says 0/20. Now, once you get to 20, that 21st mutation is almost impossible to get. So, that is when we go into what we call re-rolling. We are going to take and do the breeding in a certain way that will make those mutation counters go up so high that it basically glitches out the system and makes it to where your dinos will no longer show mutations here or mutations here. These will turn back into zeros. And once these turn back into zeros, you can start breeding for mutations again. That is how we get such insane dinos. And we're going to go through the process and show you how to do that. But I want you to see what that looks like. Now, in the process of about a month and a half of non-stop breeding, we have been able to come up with some pretty powerful, pretty overpowered dinos. Okay, so these are just a couple of my carbos, the ones that you see up here. Been working on these for about a month and a half, almost 2 months now, since the server went live. And I want you to see what their health is. That is correct. 172 points into health. And we have already re-rolled this line 4 times, I believe. And we are able to keep mutating that health all the way up until I believe it goes to 250. We haven't gotten there quite yet. So, and that's just the carbos. I won't divulge any information about where the stegos or where the shadowmanes or velos or trikes or any of that are. I just want to give you an idea and prove to you that it works. And that's not just a one-off, that's every one of them. And for any naysayers that may say, oh, well, no, your dinos have been spawned in, whatnot. Okay, let's see. As you can see, because my line wasn't fully clean before, I still had points into, I think I had 3 in stamina, 2 in weight, whatnot. I wanted to get rid of every other stat besides that health. So this is what it looked like. I dropped 10 points, useless points, off of the carbos, and it brought them back down to 169. But we will get there. We will show you what that looks like, and everybody will have a warm and fuzzy on how to do this and how to breed efficiently, effectively, so that you too can become the master breeders that we know you are. Alright guys, well, we are going to keep going on those carbos outside. These are our training carbos. We're going to keep going until we hit 20 mutations, and then our third video in the series will be showing you how to turn that 20 mutations back to 0 while still keeping the points that you have into health, or the points that you have into whatever stat you were breeding for. Alright, so without dragging this on any further, I'm going to sign off and say, by all means, please come and join, play with us. Ark Cartel servers. You can also check us out in our Discord and at kingawesomegames.com. And we hope to see y'all soon. Bye.